Okay, we're going to make something from my childhood here. We're going to go ahead and use strawberry fruit spread. You can use any kind of fruity kind of spread you'd like. My grandmother, well, I used to spend the night over there quite a bit, and I'd end up getting up around the same time Johnny Carson would come on, so we could have one of our after midnight snacks. Now, I think she used jam, because I remember it being having a lot more substance inside than mine do. But this is just a cute thing you can throw together. Now, I prefer to use parchment paper on the bottom because I notice that it has a tendency to stick with the jam or jellies that I'm using. And so I just, trace it around and cut it around as best as I can. My son got in trouble when he was, like in the 5th grade for not having perfectly cut circles for his solar system. And, I had to really give it to him for being able to do as well as he did because I wasn't so sure I could do a better job. See, anyway, I just want to make sure it's going to stick in here. See, it's not that big of a deal. Now I've thawed 4 Rhodes Rolls frozen dough. So I'm just going to kind of snip them together, so I could just quickly roll this out because I'd like it to be something that I can throw together in no time whatsoever. So I'm just going to try and get them to adhere together, and here I'm going to take them and make them elongated. That's painful to watch in any speed. But I'm just going to go ahead, not too much. That's where I get in trouble because it'll end up seeping out on me. But yeah, I don't put too much on there. Now I want to try and tightly roll this. Not too tight, but tightly roll this here, and I'm just going to add my jam as I go through. It's so important to get this last bit to where it adheres there and it's not going to come apart on me. And I just kind of smush it into shape here. Okay, I'm going to go round and round with this thing a couple of times here, but I just want to get it to where it's not going to open back up and hopefully not spill out in the bottom. And of course, I'm overthinking this here. Really, I am. Because it'll be fine if I could just leave it alone, but I can't because I'm one of those A personality people. I tell myself this isn't necessary, but I don't seem to listen. It looks the same to me as it did when I started. Well, alrighty, then we're going to go ahead and make our glaze now while we're waiting for it to cook. Now, it's the consistency, not necessarily the measurement with me. So what I'm wanting to do is I'll show you here, but I'm going to put in about a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. Then I add a dash of salt. I know it sounds odd, but believe me, it helps. And I should put about a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I'm just going to give this a really good mixing. Now I'm adding just a little bit of water, purified water, but it's the consistency I'm looking for. I may need to add more powdered sugar. Yeah, I'm having to toss a little bit more powdered sugar in there. You know, I live in a very humid climate. It does. It makes a difference with plants, and it makes a difference with cooking sometimes too. So I'm putting in probably 1/8 of a cup of sugar, powdered sugar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm real happy. This is the consistency that I like. Okay, now I need to make sure, I just like to thump it a little bit. It's just sounding a little hollow in there. I think it's done. I like to let it sit for 2 to 5 minutes before I do anything with it. I just want to pull it away from the parchment paper. It's hot is the issue here, but I want to make sure it doesn't stick or it hasn't stuck. Oh, see, a lot of the jelly comes out. But let's see, no burnt. Nope, no burnt. Okay, that makes me happy. Okay, now I do this while it's still pretty hot, but I let it sit. But I want to get my icing on it now. I may be a little generous with the icing, but it just, I don't know, I like the taste of the whole thing, and this really reminds me of my grandma, because they would be properly frosted when she made them too. Well, I almost feel like I christened it or something. Okay, now for the real test. Yes, there's no simple way of getting into this. Oh, yeah. That's just like Grandma used to make. Yeah, I need a knife for this. So here we go. I'd like to see if the coloring inside, you know, how well that did, because a lot of it ends up seeping out on me. Okay, yeah, I like seeing those red lines in there. It does get a little tough on the bottom just from all the syrup and everything. Oh, but definitely just like Grandma used to make. So let's see what it looks like deeper in here. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Let me see if I can't get just a little bit more color showing in here, though. I should have just cut it right straight down the middle. Well, I'll take it. I, of course I will. I'll take the whole thing. Well, yeah, it probably, see, it has better lines in there. I want to use a jam next time, a strawberry jam, because I know that's what she would have used. See, there's a little bit of lines in there. Well, you know, that's all I really had for you today. We'll try doing a different kind some other time with jam. But you want to make sure you use that parchment paper or you will hardly ever be able to get these off. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot that you were there. Well, you guys have yourselves a lovely day. That's about all I had for you today. And I'll have a lovely day as well because I have the rest of this to eat. I'll talk to you later. Bye.